Hips, hearts, and horror sparked the flames of devastation that would lick my wounds from that evening to this very day. Illuminated by the moon, a husband's hips rocked not for the first time, but noticed for the first time by his wife. With each thrust, a piece of heart died. With each step away from me, the treachery of well-kept secrets came flooding in, riding the waves of my husband's hips. Hi, this is Ayvaunn Penn with Black and Making It, Black artists making it happen. So, family, I'm coming to you with a very interesting occurrence that has weighed heavy on me for the past few days. I mean, not really eating like I should, sleeping like I should, just the last 2 days and a half maybe have I recovered from this slightly traumatic experience. As many of you know, I am a playwright. I am working on my 3rd and final degree, my 2nd master's, a Master of Fine Arts in Playwriting, in the Big Apple in the wonderful city of New York. What better a place? But I recently brought to class a piece that I had been working on, very passionate about it, that deals with women who contract HIV from their husbands. And it gets really touchy. That's already a really touchy area, but specifically women whose husbands have been sleeping with men, and that being the mode by which they contracted HIV. Very weighty, very much a touchy subject. It was not easy to write. However, it is something that is a problem, whether, people like it or not. Statistically, this is something that is a risk factor for females who acquire HIV. It is not the only risk factor, but it certainly is one, and it is one that plays a significant role. And it is a thing in the African American community. This is for a class wherein there were 3 rounds of writing, and this last round is for current events. This is what I wrote about, and I took this play before my class, and it was not received well at all. From the playwrights, let me be specific, from my incoming class of playwrights, did not take well to this play at all. I mean, it exploded, blew up in the worst, biggest mess ever. They said that they felt it spoke ill of the gay community. They felt that it was very discriminatory, just very strong reactions to the piece. With all of that said, whereas it read that way, it certainly was not my intent at all. My intent is merely because whereas my classmates really felt strongly that this play not be performed at the end of the year, which I have agreed to take a step back, to breathe a little bit, take another look at it. I am not going to throw it in a drawer forever. It definitely will come back out, but I can see where there could be benefit in taking a little bit more time with the piece. So it is no longer being done. It was shared with faculty, some of which didn't see a problem with it. Others who did. Again, getting back to the main point, the goal of the piece is to give voice to women who have suffered from this. Give voice to women who have had to deal with this, some of whom have died, and some of whom have not been heard, when they have tried to speak out, ironically, just as is being done with this play, the way it is not being received because it touches on an area of people's lives that it hits close to home for some people. These women should be able to speak. They should be able to be angry. They should be able to express their hurt. And something that I find very ironic is that with this piece, the feedback from my classmates is, but what about the men's side? I totally understand that there is a male side and a male perspective to this issue. The problem that I have is that there are plays that address the men's side. There's plenty of literature that addresses the men's side of this issue, and yet I don't hear anybody complaining about any of that, oh, men who have experienced this, have been a part of a situation like this, you're not allowed to express how you felt going through this without talking about the women. So why is it that the men can have a stage all to themselves for this issue, but the women can't? The moment the women are being talked about, the moment the women are sharing the very raw, it's not nice. The play is potent. It's very potent. It expresses very raw feelings and emotions. And those raw feelings and emotions are real. And I mean, do you expect a woman who has acquired HIV from her husband to be nice about it? Maybe she does. Maybe some women do come to a place of understanding later. But first, you're dealing with understanding that your life is no longer your own due to decisions and choices that a person, your husband, that you trusted, made because of decisions and actions that he made. Recklessness, you are now impacted. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to reverse it. And, part of the inspiration from this play was a documentary done by ABC in 2006. And very interestingly enough, they talk to both men and women about the issue. And one of the women mentioned that, look, if the African American community doesn't address this now, we'll be here years later still talking about it. And guess what? That was 2006. We're in 2016. And it still hasn't been resolved. Who knows what the answers are? Again, the point of the play is to give voice to the women who deserve to have a voice. So, so I'm coming to you for help. So if you are a female who has dealt with this, or you know other females who have, or this has touched your life in some way, I would love to hear from you. Gentlemen, if this is something that you have experienced, are experiencing, I would love to hear from you as well. If you are willing to share, be greatly appreciated. One issue that I do take with my experience in sharing this with my class is the insinuation from a few people that I didn't do research or that I wrote this in total ignorance, and that is totally not true. I have seen this happen in my realm. I have, and I mean, it's real. It's very real. And I'm tired of people trying to make out like it's not real, like it's not happening. People want to say, oh, you're wrong to blame people have said you're wrong to blame gay men for this. It's not an issue of gay men. It's not an issue of gay, because if it were, gay women would be addressed, but it's really not about that. If you do the research, which I have done, at least enough to speak intelligently to a certain extent, it's a matter of a high-risk sexual behavior that unfortunately the ball lies and has been dropped in the population of men who sleep with men. That's where the HIV virus has a heyday. Who knows why it is that way or how that came to be? Who knows? No one can be blamed for it. But with the knowledge that this is the high-risk population, those who are members of that population have a responsibility, a level of responsibility in whether they like it or not, to, when you engage with people, to be honest about what you engage in, whether you are engaging with other men, other females. Everyone deserves to know what they're getting into. Everyone deserves to know that much. Someone in my class said, well, this is due to mass incarceration and you need to read XYZ articles, sent me the research, sent me whatever articles, read the material. Turns out it was material that I'd already read before I wrote the play. And interestingly enough, the article, the research debunks itself in two ways. It states that most people in prison who have HIV acquired it before they got there, which then makes you question the point of the article or research in the first place. And secondly, the article still deals with the high-risk behavior of what the CDC refers to as MSM, or men who sleep with men. It's still a big part and piece of this puzzle. Again, the objective of the play is not to certainly show hatred towards anyone, but simply say, hey, society, this is happening. We can't keep closing our eyes to it. Can we at least let both sides of the stories be heard without telling one side or either side that you can't speak unless you talk about the other? People have a right to express themselves without being told how to express, or that you can't be angry because of whatever, or how to be angry, how to be sad, how to feel. So anyway, all of that, it's really hard as a writer. As a writer, I feel that artists have a responsibility to bring truth, to drag out from under the rug things that society is afraid to talk about, and to bring it to a setting where at least discussion is stirred. The first step is talking. Even if no one has the right answer, we're all human, and everyone deserves to be heard. Everyone deserves to be understood. And am still trying. The fight and the battle is still on with this piece, but I will take some more time with it. Thanks for hearing me out. I look forward to your feedback, positive feedback, please. Real truth and experiences, please. Any resources that you may have that you feel that I should check out. Would love to hear and understand what that may be as well, so that I can check that out. Thank you for sharing your time, and I look forward to the next segment of Black and Making It with you. And until next time, have a great day.